In 2020, I only read books written by women of color, and it was very enriching. It was probably my favorite year of reading since before college. Now taking a very, very low path, going a completely different direction. We are only reading shitty mystery novels this year. And when I say shitty mystery novel, I don't mean that it's actually like a bad book or poorly written. Some of them have been, but generally just like boring premise. You know what's going to happen. There's a murder. Someone isn't who they say they are, like that. I've also read a couple of nonfiction books, so this is going to be a very quick review out of 5 stars of the shitty mystery novels that I've read this year so far. Okay, starting with the most recent, I just finished this today, If You Tell by Greg Olson. This is nonfiction. It's the true story of Shelly Notek, who is a serial killer from Washington. I thought this was interesting because I'm from Washington, slightly too long for my taste. Don't have the attention span for 400 plus pages. Overall, it's pretty good, kind of frustrating, super depressing abuse. 3 out of 5 stars. The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This one gets 1.5 out of 5 stars. I don't know. I could not get through this, but I also couldn't put it down. But it was so, everything that happened was so obvious. It was like the shittiest mystery of shitty mysteries. But it had really good reviews, and I still finished it. So I don't know, maybe give it a shot. Radium Girls by Kate Moore, another nonfiction. This one gets a 4 out of 5. I really like the way that she wrote and remembered these girls or empowered them. It's about women who worked in the radium industry in the United States and became sick because radium is a poison, and how they fought for their rights and fought for their health. So 4 out of 5 stars. This is a good one, also nonfiction. The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. This one, one of those maybe they're not who they say they are kind of things. Pretty obvious and predictable once you kind of like understand the theme. But I did read it pretty quickly. I'll give this one a 2.5 out of 5. Long Bright River by Liz Moore. This one is really interesting. It's about the opioid crisis in the Kensington neighborhood in Philadelphia. 2 sisters, one is a cop. Told from the cop perspective. Not sure how I feel about that. And her sister who is missing. I love a missing persons case. I lived in Kensington and Philadelphia, so this one was really interesting to me. But they're a cop. This one gets a 3.5 out of 5. Kind of maybe a real book and not a shitty mystery, but also falls into this category. The Nature of Fragile Things by Susan Meissner. I love a period piece. I love historical fiction. I love a historical mystery. There's natural disaster. There's fire. There's corsets. There's adorable little Victorian children. This one gets 4 out of 5. I read this in like 8 hours. Unspeakable Things by Jess Lurie. This one is a novel or a fictional account of the Jacob Wetterling abduction and murder. Not sure how I feel about that. Kind of reminds me of The Girls by Emma Cline, and I just wish I was reading nonfiction. 3 out of 5. I think that my next book is going to be Banana, that book about the history of bananas. But if you have any other recommendations for shitty mysteries, I would love to hear them.